But we'll take a look when we're on top of the bridge. Maybe see a few birds out enjoying the sun. Yeah, no, because the Outlaw Pursuit Centre is further up on the right, up the river. Our next port of call is the Great Central Railway. Now amazingly, the Great Central Railway is actually Britain's only mainline dual track heritage railway. Now it's built by a man called Mr. Edward Watkin. He thought it was quite good, and in fact he was. He had the plan to take the train all the way from Leicester down to London and not stop there but carry on the way to Paris. Now people said, no, that's mad. Mr. Edward Watkin cannot do that. But then a few years later, well, say a few hundreds of years after this, somebody decided to get his plans out of storage, and they said, yeah, we'll try it. And as what was his old plans, which seemed quite silly at the time, is now actually the Channel Tunnel, also known as the Channel. Also, you can actually get a coach from places like St Margaret's bus station down to London, and you can jump on the Eurostar and get to France that way. Now, as the Great Central Railway is one of our sponsors, we have a fantastic offer. If you keep hold of your bus ticket, you show it when you get on the train, and they'll deduct the fare that you paid on the bus off the train. So in turn, really, the bus becomes a freebie. So whatever you pay to get on the bus, you get back on the train. Now, if any of you have seen Casualty, The Bill, programmes like that, all of them were actually filmed at the Great Central Railway. Any train crashes are all there. Now, Harry Potter's actually been to Leicestershire. When I say Harry Potter, the Hogwarts Express was actually filmed at the Loughborough station on the Great Central Railway. Now, you can jump on the Great Central Railway. We're at the Leicester North station in a few seconds. You can go all the way to Loughborough and have a look. Each station is set back to different time periods, the 60s, the Edwardian periods, and so on. And at the Corn station is actually a museum. We're also carrying on to the Rothley station and finally terminate at Loughborough. If you do get off there, we'll be back later to pick you up in exactly an hour. As we will stop at the Space Centre and come back to the Great Central Railway to pick anybody up that wishes to get off there. Now, if you've also seen stuff like Goodnight Mr Tom, Buster, they were all filmed at the Great Central Railway. Now we're going to go around the roundabout a second so we can get back up to the hill, up to the Great Central. Now the Great Central Railway is absolutely amazing with the children. If you go at special events, you can see Thomas. Jump on Thomas or one of his friends and take a ride. And if that's not exciting enough for you, go around well, towards Christmas time, you can actually see Santa. Meet the big man himself, see Santa, he'll give the adults a glass of sherry and the children a little toy. Now coming up in front you can see the KFC. Before that, some of you may remember, it was the Last Straw pub. Actually now changed it to the fast food chain KFC. But now as we turn around to get back towards the railway station, if you do wish to get off there, please give me a quick wave. Yeah, we've got people getting off there. There are leaflets downstairs if you do require any more information.
Move it.
I think we all need to lean forward to get the bus up the hill. It's quite a steep hill, quite an old bus. So if you all lean forward, Mark, just be able to make it.
The train's running today?
Yeah, the train's running today, we saw one earlier. Yeah, the gates are locked at the moment, but as soon as the train pulls in, they'll open the gates up.
How often are they?
They do run with us.
do overlap.
Oh, okay.
Double cracker and lava.
When we turn around, if you look around a bit, you can see lots and lots of greenery. Now that's because Leicester was actually a quarter of greenery. Now if you look over to your right, you can see lots and lots of greenery. Also, Leicester was Britain's first environment city. So really green in that way. Now we've got people getting off here, so we're stopping here, Sid. It's actually built in the crater of a dormant volcano. Now luckily it's not due to erupt anytime soon, but I have said in that a much older volcano in America erupted. So there is still a chance of this one erupting, but hopefully it doesn't. We're now heading towards the National Space Centre and the Abbey pumping station. Before we get there, I'll tell you a little bit more. I don't think any of you are actually old enough to remember this man, but a man called George Davenport, quite a famous man in Leicester. Now, he was a bit of a jack the lad. He thought he was there, he thought he could do what he wanted. So he did. He joined the army, and in them days you get a shilling for joining the army. So he got his shilling, got his uniform, and thought, great, I'll leave now. He left the army and thought, wicked idea, I'll change my name and do it again. So he changed his name, got his shilling, got his uniform and left again. He did this, he did this several times until they caught him. Well, they didn't really catch him. He got caught in a bit of a smaller petty crime. They decided to hang him. So they took him to the pub for his last drink. And he was on his way out of the pub, coming towards ready way to be hung. One of his mates jumped out and said, "Hey up George, see they've got you then." So the officers thought, hang on, something's going on here. We've got the George Davenport. So they then hung him for all his offences. And you can actually see George Davenport's grave. It's in Wixon Cemetery. It's actually on Davenport Road. There's a bit of a monument to him. Now that made clear why if you actually wonder what Red Hill Way, it's actually called Red Hill Way. Obviously all the bodies been hanging. They'd actually just swell up with all the heat and just pop. Disgustingly, they'd pop, all the blood and all the pus dripping down the hill. When the sun shone onto the blood, it made it look like a really shiny red. Now that makes me wonder why this bus is red. Hopefully it's not actually painted with his blood. I'm just hoping it's artificial paint. As I said, we're heading towards the National Space Centre and Abbey pumping station. Now this is a wonderful stop as the Abbey pumping station and Space Centre are side by side. So you've got past, present and future right next door to each other. Now as you're really lucky people, I want to show you the Thor Able rocket. It's an American rocket and it's inside the Space Centre. Also tucked inside there is the Blue Streak, which is the British rocket. There's also the satellite called the Skylark. Now the Skylark shoots up to space and it transmits the weather information back down. And I think last time we transmitted it must have said sunny. We've got quite good weather today. Now the Space Centre, you can actually jump in the Space Centre and go and have tea, biscuits and have something to eat underneath the rockets. You can get into the cafe and the gift shop absolutely free. Now keep hold of your tickets if you do go inside the gift shop of the Space Centre, as if you spend £5 in there you can actually get a free gift. Quite an amazing offer. Also if you do decide to go into the Abbey pumping station, that's free to get into like all of Leicester's museums. Now the Space Centre is absolutely amazing. It's got its links with NASA, the University of Leicester. The Space Centre is one of the bus's sponsors. Also in there is the NEO Centre, which stands for Near Earth Objects. We've got scientists working in there and they'll look up in telescopes, satellites and things and see what's heading towards Earth. So if there's any meteorites coming our way, they'll know about it first. Now right to the Abbey pumping station, in there is 4 big beam steam engines, 3 of which still work today. Now these steam engines used to pump all the sewage up to Belmont Lees, as there's no way of cleaning it. So what they do is they pump all the water and all the sewage up to Belmont Lees for it to be cleaned. Now it's such a big trek. which is why they actually needed the big 4 engines. Now the height of Beaumont Leeds, you can actually see the ring around the steeple looking thing, black ring, is actually the height of Beaumont Leeds. And not only is it that high, it's 1 mile behind us. So they're pumped up there, and if you go there on a special day, you can actually see 3 of the big steam engines still working. Also great for the kids, you can actually see a see-through toilet. It's not just any toilet, but all of it is see-through. If you ever wonder where your dog goes when you've done it and flush the chain, you can actually see